You know, there's a saying in law that you never ask a question that you don't know the answer to. So I might be asking for real trouble here. But what is your fondest, or your most prevalent memory of 20-something-year-old Tom Pelissero covering the Packers?
You were hardworking. You were ethical. We had such a contingent. Then they're all, some are still there, some are out in the world elsewhere, like yourself. But I always remember going to they send all us young executives every year to sort of hear from the sage words of older people. And I remember listening to Bill Polian one year, and he's like, you guys have to learn how to deal with the media, and the media is everywhere, and the media is all over you. And I'm looking out, and I'm like, okay, Indianapolis, right? They had one beat reporter from the Indianapolis Star. They maybe had a TV person. That was it. We had Green Bay Press-Gazette, Milwaukee Journal, Madison State Journal, 5 TV. I mean, it was like, okay, Bill Polian. Do you have any idea what little Green Bay has compared to Indianapolis?
Well, it's the depth of coverage there, too.
It's amazing.
And it was a great place to learn because you had the guys like Bob McGinn and Pete Doherty who had covered the team forever.
Silverstein.
That was the home, guys. Right? Spoon there, Demovsky, they were already veterans on the beat at that point. There aren't other markets where you get 5,000-word tape breakdowns every Monday. But sure enough, I started doing them too because that just was what you did there. And it was great competition, which breeds improvement, I think. The competition is a good thing in the end.
In the end, it's the greatest story in sports. I mean, there's a town of 100,000 people, and they have an NFL team. I'll tell you this quick story. David Baker ran the Arena League. Mm-hmm. Huge mountain of a man, David Baker, the guy who
Hall of Fame.
Hands out the Hall of Fame. He would come every year, and one year he met with me, and he said, listen, all these teams are getting Arena League teams, Atlanta, New Orleans, and we're thinking about one here. And I'm like, sure, we'd love an arena team here. And we went through all the financials, and we sort of came to a deal. And I said, okay, can I tell the staff we're going to have an Arena League team in Green Bay? He's like, yeah, but just one thing. It's going to be Arena 2.
Right.
Because you're not big enough for an Arena League team. You only have 100,000 people. I'm like, so let me get this straight. We're big enough to have a legacy franchise in the NFL, but we're not big enough to have a team in the AFL. Yeah, you're going to be Arena 2. I'm like, no, we're not. We're not doing Arena 2. So it just shows you how unique that place is. I mean, this. The fans wrap themselves around the team like no place ever. I'm pumping gas. Hey, how's that Aaron Rodgers thing?
Right.
It's like you can't. I wasn't GM. I wasn't coach, but everybody knew me and everybody knew my family. That's a truly unique place.
I remember the story I always tell to kind of contextualize what it's like and the level of attention there beyond obviously the depth of the media coverage was I moved to Green Bay in March of 2007.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of getting to know the town. I stopped at a Burger King, I think it was. And so I'm having lunch and I hear this conversation behind me, and it's 4, little old ladies, 80 years old, sitting there eating at Burger King. And I'm hearing their conversation, and I realize they're talking about whether Frank Walker should be the nickel. And I'm just going, this is beyond anything that anyone should be talking about, period, much less just, a bunch of people getting together having lunch. But that's the level to which it goes there. And I think that all goes back to, the media side of things and the way that team is covered because it's such a small town. Because, when I was living in Green Bay and I lived downtown for my last couple of years there, and it's I was in the building across from Charles Woodson. I lived down the hall from Pat Lee. I'd see, every player on that team just around. You'd see Aaron in the back of Fox Harbor just having a beer on Friday night. And that was totally normal. Running to Will Blackman at Subway. These are real stories.
Yeah. It never happens anywhere else. Quick story, we'll move to other things. I'm at vacation, Door County. I'm like, okay, I'm getting away. Mike Sherman calls and we're doing a trade. We need a tight end. We're Buffalo Bills. So I'm making the trade on the beach and my phone dies. So I go to this Ranger Shack. I got my little boy with me. I'm like, can I use your phone? I'm Andrew Brandt. I need to make a trade. I'm with the Green Bay Packers. He looks at me like, who the F? No. I'm like, you understand. I need to make a trade. We need your phone right now before 4 o'clock deadline. And he says, I don't know. I said, listen, we're trading David Bowens to the Buffalo Bills for a tight end named Bobby Collins, but it won't happen unless you let me use your phone. Now I got him. He looks at me, looks down. He says, why are we trading Bowens? I said, what? He said, why are we trading Bowens? I said, I'll tell you. Let me do the trade. He said, Bowens is good. Why are we trading Bowens? I said, hold on. I do the trade. I'm like, we need a tight end. We had a lot of tight end. Anyway, that's the story. That's Green Bay fans. That's Packer Nation.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.